What's going on, guys? It's February 22nd, and here are the picks of the day. So I'm going to be using reverse line movement for my strategy. If you haven't heard of it before, check out the description. I've got a little summary for you that might help you out, but also just keep watching because I'm going to explain exactly how it goes. So let's take this first game, for example. This is going to be NBA tonight, and we have the Hornets playing up against the Jazz. So you can see here how 69% of the betting volume went towards the game going over, and then 31% went towards the under. The line opened up at over under 231.5, and then people loved the over. And then the line moved down to 228.5. And that doesn't make sense. The line is almost moving backwards, right? You would expect it to go up if people like the over more. And the reason that this happens is because the sharp bettors have money on this game. And sharp bettors are essentially the more knowledgeable bettors. They bet larger amounts, they have a better win rate, and they're almost like the experts in this sport. And the bookmakers know exactly who these people are. They've got their fancy equations and algorithms going in the back, but they know who these bettors are. And the bookmakers value these picks over the public opinion because they think that the sharps have more knowledge, more expertise, whatever it is. And so reverse line movement happens when there's a difference of opinion between the public bettors and then the sharp bettors. And what the bookmaker is thinking is that, okay, if the sharps have their money on the under, then why don't we make the over look as appealing as it can? That way we can kind of clump together all the public in this category, and then if it loses, then they don't have to pay out 69% of the bettors, they only have to pay out 31%. And so it becomes sort of a profit move. But whenever you do see reverse line movement like this, you always want to go with the sharps. It's not a guaranteed win, but more often than not, they know what they're doing. And so for this game, I would go with the under. And so now that you kind of know how reverse line movement works, I'm going to go through the rest of the picks today. And real quick, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I'm going to be bringing you guys reverse line movement picks every single day. So I didn't see any more for NBA, but we have a ton of college basketball. So for tonight's game versus Oakland versus Robert Morris, the line opened up at over under 147.5. 88% of the public bettors liked the over, and then the line moved down to 146.5, making the over look really appealing. They want as many people to click on the over as they can. And so for this game, I would go with the under. We have Rutgers versus Purdue, where it opened up at 138.5. 65% or the majority of the public betting volume went towards the under, and then the line moved up to 139.5, making the under look more appealing. So for this game, I would go with the over. I have a few more games I want to go over. So we have Charleston, Delaware, where it opened up at over under 152.5. 85% of the public liked the under, and then they moved it up 2 points to 154.5. And so this number is going to keep going up, maybe even closer to 90%, meaning the bookmakers want as many people on this category as they can, but the sharp bettors have their money on the over, and we're always going to go with the sharps. So for this game, go with the over. The next game is going to be Elon versus Northeastern. It opened up at over under 145.5. 75% of the betting volume went towards the over, and then they moved the line down 1 point to 144.5, making the over look that much better. So for this game, I'm going to go with the under. The next game is going to be, let me see if I can find it. There's so many games. Okay, it's going to be Kennesaw State versus Florida Gulf Coast. It opened up at 153.5. 67% of the betting volume went towards the under, and then they bumped it up 1 point. And so the under looks even better to, future bettors throughout the day. So for this game, I'm going to go with the over. We have Kansas City and South Dakota, where it opened up at 146.5. 80%, that's a huge majority. 80% of the public volume went towards the over, and then they moved the line down to 145.5. And really, they just want everybody to click on this over. And so I'm going to go with the under. And then the last game I'm going to cover today is Ohio State and Minnesota. It opened up at 139.5. 69% of the betting volume went towards the over, and then they bumped it down to 138. And so for this game, I'm going to go with the under. There's so many more games tonight. A lot of these over-unders aren't published publicly, but you can find them on other sites. And so if you want more games to bet on throughout the day, be sure to take a look. You might find something. And that's gonna wrap it up for me today. I don't want to make the video too long, so I'm gonna stop there. That's 8 games tonight on the books. And again, if you want these picks daily, then be sure to subscribe, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.